Testing, 1, 2, 3. Well, welcome to another Walk Talk. My name is Rob Greenlee, and I am in the middle of winter in Connecticut and wanted to bring you another Walk Talk as I walk through another natural area in the state of Connecticut. We have a string of snowstorms. I don't know if I would even call them storms, but 3 dustings of snow. And let me flip the camera around and you can kind of see what it's like in Connecticut right now. There's not too much snow, but it does make for a somewhat of a white Christmas, which is a great thing. And that was another reason why I wanted to do another Walk Talk with you, is to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and as we approach 2025, I'm hoping that we will have a good year. But I think there's a lot of uncertainty in our world right now about what that new year is going to look like. And I sense kind of a continuing anxiety about where we are at right now in this transition, especially here in the United States, as we move to a new presidential election, and also as we grapple with ongoing issues with our government seeming to want to stay involved in wars and conflicts around the world that don't seem to have a really good reason for their existence, right? And I realize that the incoming president wants to end those wars, but it raises the bigger question in my mind about why we got into them in the first place. So, because it hasn't really ever been clearly communicated to the American people or the world exactly why we're actually involved in these wars and, between Ukraine and Russia and what's been going on in the Middle East. I think it's a little clearer to have a grasp of what's happening in the Middle East, but I think we've all been relatively kept in the dark about what's been happening with the Ukraine and Russia war. I know I've been following it fairly closely, and I feel there's just not a lot of clear communication going on about what's going on with that. But I'm hopeful that the wars can be ended and that we can get back to peace again, which I think is certainly should always be the goal. But I realize that there are people in the world that I guess benefit from wars. Is probably the great way to think about it here. It's actually a pretty negative thing that we as humans do this killing thing as a business. But I do think that's going on. And I think that the United States is a big participant in that. And I think that probably needs to change. I think that having a strong military should be used as more of a defensive mechanism, not what it seems like today as more of an offensive tool. But I didn't want to make this whole video about war and conflict and stuff, especially in the middle of a holiday season where we should all be with family and enjoying and not being worried about things that are happening in our world. It's just unfortunate. It speaks to where we're at in the world right now, and it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. I've been around the planet for a while now, and I know that these things have been going on for a very long time, and that's kind of been the culture of our country really since I was a child. But it does seem to be getting worse. And I'm not sure, and it always seems like we're involved somehow in making things worse when we need to be seen as a positive leader in the world and not a leader of conflict and division. And I think we're hopefully in the next few months, maybe get back to more of a positive outlook as a country. Maybe this focus on looking inward might be the right thing to do right now. So, and it appears that the incoming administration has that priority. Now, granted, there's always this tension of change. And I do believe that we're in a period of massive disruptive change. And a lot of it gets back to technology. A lot of it gets back to people feeling threatened and very competitive. As the world becomes much more complex, people are concerned about their livelihoods, their ability to live a free life and do the things that they want to do and be able to afford things. And that also is a big concern of mine, as well as we look to even the near future. You know, I've been spending a lot of time trying to educate myself about this growing trend of technology around the artificial intelligence stuff, the AI stuff. And I'm seeing those trend lines coming very quickly to all of us. And I think we need to increasingly become, aware of what those changes might look like to each and every one of us in how we think about our work, how we think about our daily lives, how we can adapt to the changes that are most likely coming very soon to our environment, our society and our culture, and our work and our professional lives. I think there is an opportunity for it to be a wonderful time. If technology can be used for good to help us all be more effective in our lives, to accomplish more, and to bring more good things to the world, then I think tech is a good thing. But my worry always gets back to a core couple of things, is that tech can be used for negative purposes too, you know? So it's not always a colored glasses type of situation. So I'm actually at an airfield here, or what was once an airfield. It doesn't look like it's being used that way anymore, but I think it's an interesting place to film. And that's one thing about Connecticut, is that it does have a lot of wide open spaces and places that you can go and just go for a walk. Now today is a little bit cold. It's about probably 16 to 17 degrees outside right now. And I'm probably going to make this video a little bit short because I'm actually freezing. So anyway, well, I hope you have a wonderful holiday wherever you happen to be are. And I'll be back in 2025 with the next version of Walk Talks with Rob Greenlee. And thank you so much for being here and following my channel. And I've got lots of other shows that I do there. And so I hope you have a wonderful holiday season. So thank you. Bye-bye for now.